Good morning. Good morning. It's afternoon now. It's been a long day. Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the August 26th meeting of the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the August 12th meeting. They're in your packet. Are there any questions or comments regarding the minutes? Seeing none, is there a motion for approval? Please vote. And it passes. Well, that's fast today. Next item is a consent docket. There are a number of items on there, plans and specifications, a number of change orders and amendments, other contract awards. Are there any questions or comments regarding the consent docket or any items the trustees would like to pull for individual consideration? Seeing none, is there a motion for approval? And it passes. There are no items on the concurrence docket. There are no items under the emergency contracts. So item 6 is items for individual consideration. Item A is a resolution authorizing the general manager designate to proceed with the development of a funding plan for certain improvements for Aquit. And we have Dennis Whaley with us this afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good to see everyone. There we go. I'm Dennis Whaley with PFM. We're the financial advisor to the water utility. I wanted to give you a brief update where we stand on our financings for the CIP. So as a little background, if you remember, we came to you in January of 25 and talked about the need to raise capacity for the letting of contracts, not necessarily needing spending, but we need the ability to let a contract because some of these are very long processes, which leads to the next bullet, which is the main driver of why we need appropriation capacity is high dollar construction awards with multi-year spend downs. As you know, over the next 5 years, Aquit's going to spend about a little over $2.7 billion on their CIP. And some of those large projects that kind of bog us down are the Atoka pipeline project, which we're looking at about $348 million in spending, and the Deer Creek wastewater treatment plant, which has about $230 million in spending. And then over the 10-year period, your CIP approaches $6 billion, which is a sizable amount. So some things we've done to try to increase our capacity include raising the commercial paper program capacity from 350 to 500 million. That closed on April 30th and gave some short-term relief to allow for the letting of some contracts. We also reissued an RFP for a banknote program on July 30th. We asked for banks to bid on a $320 million 3-year program or a $500 million 5-year program. We received 2 responses on the 3-year program and 2 responses on the 5-year program, and we're in the process of evaluating those. The particular item I'm speaking to you here today has to do with a long-term fixed-rate bond issue that would refund outstanding commercial paper as well as raise new money for construction spending. This resolution authorizes preliminary actions, which would include the development of a POS, legal documents, moving forward with rating meetings. We've issued a mini RFP to the investment banks on the city's authorized pool, and those responses are due back next Thursday, the 28th. And then the fourth strategy for raising capacity is to continue using the OWRB SRF program for low interest loans when available. Not all projects qualify. So we've done this in the past, shown you the status of the CP program. First authorization, that's our tax authorization. That's how much we can issue and refund until we need to redo that tax authorization. We're at $700 million. We have $34 million in CP outstanding, so we're in a very good place there. The second, with the new capacity, we have $500 million in spending capacity. Once again, $34 million outstanding. And from a spending perspective, we have a lot of capacity left, $466 million. But herein is our concern. When you look at that letter of credit, look at the letter of credit for $500 million, you have $34 million outstanding, and the utility has appropriated about $365 million against that program. That really limits us to another $98 million in capacity to let projects. So the reason we are looking at doing a bond sale to raise some money and also considering a bank note program to give us capacity for purchasing. With that, I'd be glad to answer any questions, and thank you for your time.
So with your crystal ball, and the anticipation that the Fed is going to cut the rate, when would be a good time to do this?
Do the bond sale?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I won't go into
I'm sorry?
how hazy my crystal ball is, but
Okay.
let's go with this. I think there's a very good chance there will be a rate cut in September. I don't know if it'd be 25 or 50 basis points. I think there's a possibility of a rate cut later this year. But my thinking is we will see the short end of the curve come down as we have rate cuts. But I think there are still a lot of things that cause investors to be concerned about the long end of the curve, which is inflation and tariffs and everything that's going on in the world right now. So I think what you will see is a steepening of the yield curve. I don't know that you'll see the entire yield curve come down. So as far as going ahead and selling,
So it's going to start out flatter and then go back up towards normal present
well, it's kind of
level?
like this. So
Okay.
I think you're going to see it kind of go like this
Okay.
as those short-term rates come down. I don't know how much further up the long bonds will go, but I don't see a lot of movement lower just because of inflation and
Okay.
other things. So that's my crystal ball. We'll look back in 2 months and see where we are.
All right. Other questions for Mr. Whaley? Then is there a motion to approve the resolution? Item 6A. We have a motion and a second. And it passes.
Thank you.
Item 6B, we are in a dispute with a contractor on the Atoka pipeline who put the crossing of the South Canadian River in. He's claiming a change of condition and would like additional funds. And this is a resolution to hire Phillips Murrah in that case, and Phillips Murrah has helped us in some other lawsuits down on the Atoka pipeline.
Mr. Chairman, this is a request to enable the attorneys to bring in expert witnesses.
Okay, so they're already on.
Yes.
They're already on for this case. Okay.
Yes.
Very good. It's a, as was the last one, it's a technically complicated case.
Yes, sir.
All right, are there any questions of either Mr. Keith or Mr. Browning regarding this item? Seeing none, is there a motion for approval? And it passes. Are there any items from the trustees this afternoon? Nope. General Manager reports. Mr. Browning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, we have a presentation from Kendra Alexander about the 60-inch water main realignment down on Douglas Boulevard for the Tinker expansion.
Very good. Looking
Good
forward to it.
afternoon, Mr. Chairman and trustees. Again, my name is Kendra Alexander. I'm here to talk about the 60-inch water transmission main relocation around Tinker. Just a quick overview, I'll be providing a project background, and this project was designed and is being constructed in phases, so I'll give an update on phase 1 and phase 2. This project received ARPA grant funding to the city of Oklahoma City, and as a result, no trust funds are being utilized for this reroute. The plan includes the installation of approximately 4 miles of 60-inch water transition main and associated valves, fittings, etc. Given that there are no trust funds being utilized, Aquid is serving as an advisory role to Public Works. So this project is being managed via the Public Works Department. And we are ensuring coordination with all key stakeholders, including water quality, line maintenance, the Tinker Group, and residents and other stakeholders. Again, the project is being constructed in phases, and this is due to meeting the performance requirement designated with the ARPA funds. So for phase one includes a 2-mile segment from South Douglas along Southeast 74th Street, up Post Road and terminating at Southeast 59th Street. Apologies for the upside down map, kind of wanted to make it continuous for you so you could see the section in yellow. As of to date, all the pipe is welded in the ground, backfilled. If you go out there, you'll see a lot of clearing, but no pipe because all the pipe is installed. We performed our pre-punch list in April 2025. And for the month of September, we plan to begin filling the first 2-mile segment so we can complete testing, including hydro test and the pipeline flush. And upcoming includes disinfection, site restoration, final inspection, and commissioning, which I believe they're still determining if we'll commission phase 1 and phase 2 at the same time. For phase 2, as far as pipe segments installed, we're about 20% complete with phase 2 of pipe segments installed. And right now, if you happen to drive along Douglas, you'll see some road closures. And currently, they're working on the construction phasing plan to make all of the crossover connections to the existing 60-inch main. So all of the final connections and taps to make everything be in service is with phase 2. So for task 1, they have set up traffic control and lane restrictions. They're performing a few vault installations and removal of the existing abandoned PCCP. And they're doing all this work in preparation for task 2 through 6.
That's steel pipe, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So the top picture there is just a segment of steel pipe with the casing spacers for one of the bores. So as you can see, we have a lot of work to do for the next year and a half. Again, with the remaining phases, we have, not phases, but tasks to do the crossover connections. We still need to install some of our tapping sleeves, get permission with line maintenance to make those taps, line stops, installation of additional 60-inch ductile iron pipe, removal, cut and plug, and then final site restoration at the corner Southeast 44th in Douglas, and opening those lanes back up. And then we'll move on to Southeast 74th and Douglas for the next part.
So that pipe in there is the original PCC pipe that was put in the 60s?
I believe so. That kind of predates me, but I believe.
Predate me.
I know that there was a repair made where we installed another, I think, ductile iron.
Well, ductile iron,
And so that's what's there currently in operation, but I believe there's PCCP that was there before.
the PCCP pipe had faulty wire, and there were a lot of failures in it coming out of Draper. And so back in the 90s, it was paralleled with ductile iron, 60-inch ductile iron. Some of the first ductile iron, the 60-inch ductile iron they ever made. And I thought it went that far, but maybe it didn't.
I know it goes to 60-inch and then it transitions to 54, maybe about 300 feet to the north of that intersection of 44th in Douglas.
Yeah, but between 44th down to all the way down, I thought it was 60-inch ductile.
The original line is still there, so the abandoned line is still there.
Okay.
So we're,
Okay, so there's so you've got the 60-inch ductile that's in service, and then the abandoned one's next to it.
yes.
Got it.
And we've
Okay.
removed a segment to make room for the
Got it,
new
got it,
60-inch.
Okay. All right. Other questions?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kendra.
Thank you. Thanks for doing that, Chris. I appreciate that.
I appreciate Kendra. She's been doing a great job keeping track of this project. There's a lot to it. So the next phase is going to be a little more difficult in that we need to have 2 bypass lines installed. Those bypass lines will be 48-inch pipes, so we'll tap the 60 at 74th and 44th twice and put in a bypass so that we can reroute the water while we cut a section of the 60 out to install a T so that we can connect the new pipe. And so in doing that, we have to isolate the flow in the existing 60 at the same time. So trying to isolate 60-inch water main is a bit difficult, but we think we have a good plan in place to execute that work. So anyway, that'll be coming up soon. Next item, status report. So Hefner and Draper are both about a foot below full pool. Canton is full. Atoka is about 1.7 feet below full pool, and McGee Creek is full. So we're still in pretty good shape water-wise, and it looks like we might get a little bit more water in Hefner and maybe some more in Draper this week with all the rain we have coming in. And the last item I have, we have a birthday today. Susan. Where did Susan go? There she is. Susan's having a birthday today, so happy birthday, Susan. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. I'm not aware of any citizens have signed up to speak. There's no further business before the trust, therefore we are adjourned.